Hi, just thought I'd make a video. I'm not really sure how this video is going to pan out. I know what I want to say, but I don't know exactly how I'm going to say it. So, basically, there's a lot going on this planet at the moment, and it is getting really, really confusing for many of us. And I just wanted to share with you a little bit of my journey over the last 6 to 9 months and my insights that I've gained over the last few months, because things are changing really fast and we're all evolving really quickly, or not. Maybe, I don't know, we are all evolving, but I think probably maybe we're evolving at different rates, or the way that we perceive that is different. So some people might see it as negative, and on the surface of it, a lot of it is negative, and it is really hard to keep our focus. And I just wanted to share with you how I have been doing that, basically. So I would say probably about 6 or 9 months ago, I started going through some changes in my viewpoint on spirituality, and I just kept getting these, not messages from outside of myself, but these really clear knowings within me that there were certain things that I shouldn't be doing anymore. And I just realised that it was getting really confusing even then, although it's got a lot more confusing since then. But it was starting to get confusing then, and I was starting to think, well, what do I believe? And some of the things that I thought I knew the answers to wasn't the correct answers, and so I started questioning myself and questioning where the information came from. And so I decided that the safest bet really was to not even look outside myself and to just get all the answers from within. And as a human being, that is really hard to do, because we always want validation from others. We naturally, as human beings, want to work within a herd mentality. So we want that reassurance that what we're thinking and how we're seeing things is correct. And so we seek that validation from other people. The problem with that is that reality is an illusion anyway. So the way that we perceive it is very individual. So the answers that we seek should come from ourselves, because if they come from somebody else, they're somebody else's answers. That's how I see it anyway. There's some things that can help us. So if it depends how it's put across, and how the information is divulged. I think if something is empowering and it's encouraging someone to find the answers from within, or teaching them a process of how to find the answers from within, then that's okay. Because we all need a little bit of help. We all need a little bit of a kick up the bum. But if it's information that's saying this is the only way, and this information that I'm giving you is correct and the facts, and it's based on another person's either channeled the information or course, or they've based it on their own experiences, then that is their that information is for them, basically. That isn't to say that that won't help you or help us all, but it could be quite limiting, because you could, that information that they've perceived or experienced could be for where they are at, for where they're at in their development, but you could maybe do something or gain something even more, or you could be steered in a slightly different direction, because that is what your life path is, and your life path is not necessarily what the other person experiences. So that's why labels sometimes are quite limiting, because it's a symbol, and all symbols are limiting as well, which is why a lot of symbology is used in this reality, because it keeps us locked in the reality. So this is where spirituality meets with occultism and meets with conspiracy theory, because they are all interlinked. And I'm interested in all of them, and I've done quite a lot of research in all of them. I've never really quite linked them all up fully and I'm just starting to do that now, and the realizations have been quite profound for me. And so last year, when I realized that or I kept getting this message that I needed to just look within, and it was also as well, I felt that I was not, if as well, though, because I was also coming across videos and information about demonic entities and demonic energies that try to manipulate human consciousness to mimic our own thoughts and to get us to look outside of ourselves, basically. So in a way, they're here to help us, because ultimately we're here to realise that all information, everything is within. So in a way, they help us to realise that, but we have to realise that ourselves, or we have to own that to be able to master it. And that's where the problem is, because yes, I think that there maybe have been some contract with them and some agreement with them, however many millions of years ago, that they would help us. But now they've sort of got a bit of a taste of power, and they don't really want to give it up, and they've sort of outstayed their welcome. So they're trying to control us more and more and more, and they have got plans to keep us trapped here forever, basically. And I don't want to go too much into the conspiracy side of things, because I think first of all, it isn't for everybody, and it scares some people. And I mean, it scares me sometimes. You know, I look at some of the stuff and I think, oh my God, is that really happening? And the answer to that is that yes, it is happening, but we don't all need to look at it. We all need to wake up, but we don't all need to look at the nitty-gritty, because what I've come to realise is that we all it's like the 100th monkey effect, and yes, there will be certain ones of us that do need to look at everything, or as much as we can tolerate. And there's some of us that can tolerate quite a lot of darkness and look at it in the face, because that can actually help to spur us on, to inspire us to actually do something to try and counteract that, or to dissolve it. But I don't think that everybody actually needs to look at it, not look at what's going on outside anyway, because it will scare people too much, and they'll just go further and further into denial. So how do we get people to wake up without actually seeing exactly what is happening? And that's the tricky part of it. But I have been getting inspiration. Or again, and sort of knowing what I need to do, and this has sort of come from a feeling that because my knowledge around the conspiracy theories and how the archons or the demonic energies work, is that they try and trigger emotions in us. So they try and trigger negative emotions such as fear, anger, and the sexual energy, but the misuse of sexual energy. And they feed off of it, basically. And they try and keep us locked in to this reality through trauma. There's an awful lot of that going on at the moment, so you can sort of see the correlation. So they try and keep us locked in with trauma. So these emotions get sort of get locked in ourselves, but they get locked there subconsciously because our brain can't speak. Our brain can't even say it. What's wrong with me? It's actually done that, what I'm just talking about. It doesn't even sound right. Let me put it another way. Our brains splinter into different pieces so that we disassociate from the trauma and we keep it buried, and it comes out in different ways subconsciously, and we react to certain triggers. And we all do this, and we're all sort of targeted to a degree. We have things happen in our childhood that maybe we class as traumatic, and some things happen to us as adults as well that are traumatic, and it's too much for us as a person to deal with right then in that moment. So we sort of shut ourselves off from it and disassociate from it. And it's those things that the negative entities want to try and trigger, because they know that we're not conscious of it. So what I want to try and do, or what I had the idea of trying to do, was to create some workshops that access these emotions to help them release in a safe way, and to recognize and heal these traumatic events through the release of emotions. And that will then help to free people from these programs and to dissolve these programs, because once we're aware of them, once they come into our conscious mind, then they can't control us anymore. So I'm I was having all these ideas about this, and because what sparked this was I wrote a blog about my childhood, because I had quite a traumatic childhood, and just by writing about it, it was quite a release for me. And so I got quite some interesting feedback and decided that I wanted to help other people to do this. And I decided that realised that there was lots of ways that this could happen, and not just necessarily writing, but any sort of creative outlet would potentially do this, but it has to be done in a certain way. So it has to be done so that these emotions are actually triggered, and but in a safe place. That's the onus is on it's a safe place, so that it's safe for these emotions to be released. So that is what's been happening for me over the last few months, and they are starting to come into fruition now. Started a meditation group, which you sort of think, oh well, that, you know, what's that got to do with it? But it's actually a heart-based meditation group, and it's actually the heart that helps to heal all of this. So it's getting back in touch with your heart, because what we do each time that we experience some sort of trauma is that we disassociate from that event that triggered that emotion, but what it's actually doing is it's disassociating and disconnecting a little bit from our heart, because we're too frightened to feel what happened to us. So something really profound has been happening in my meditation group, and people have been really connecting to their hearts, and they have been releasing things have been coming up from their childhood. And I was like, oh wow, this is what I have been thinking about doing, but in a more structured way, and not just with meditation, but using other things as well. And it's already happening. So this is said to me that this is what I need to be doing. And then I've had lots of other signs, such as I had reading, and the same things were confirmed to me, that I needed to get in touch with my creativity, because it was my heart energy that helped to heal other people, and just by being creative. And so I was like, well, this is exactly what I want to do, but I want to help other people to do it as well. And then I came across this guy who's a conspiracy truth speaker, whistleblower, and he passed away about a week ago now. And I had heard of him actually when I watched one of his videos. I had watched it previously, but I'd not really taken a lot of notice because he was being interviewed with somebody else, and I didn't really connect with him at that time. But I watched some of his videos after I heard about his passing, and he was saying exactly the same thing, that it's the heart energy that will dissolve all of this negativity and the control system that's in place now. So this was even more confirmation, and I don't want to go into the details of his death, because that's not what I want to focus on now in this moment. But I have been watching quite a lot of his videos, and it's really tragic circumstances that he died in, and it's made me realise how important this work is. I knew it was important, and I've had some really quite profound experiences when I've been at sacred sites and things have happened to me that I can't talk about here, but that again proved to me that I'm on the right track. But it's almost like people shouldn't be dying unnecessarily. We need to up our game a bit more. We've needed to up our game more and more and more and more over the last few months, but we need to keep going, and we need to get the truth out there, but it's getting it out there in ways that people can actually digest and not be turned off or go into fear and then just switch off from it. We need to help people to open their hearts and not close down. There's a lot of fear on this planet at the moment, and yes, there's some horrible, horrible things going on in this world, but I also don't believe that all of them are actually true. I think that a lot of the events that are happening in the world are actually staged to create fear, but there are a lot of people dying unnecessarily as well, and so this creates fear. And again, same with financial situation and the political situation in everywhere. There's a lot of financial uncertainty and people are afraid. So how do we help people to connect back with their hearts? I think that is what one of the reasons why I'm here. I think that's what I'm here to do, basically. So so that's what I'm going to focus on, and I'm going to be doing quite a few workshops as well. So one of them, I'm going to do a talk on stress management and how we use our heart, how we can use our heart energy to override the mind and negative thinking to reduce stress. And it's actually, there's a lot of research gone into it as to the physical effects that it has on our body. So that is actually science-based. But also I want to do one on creative expression and just releasing emotional trauma through creative expression. So that is going to be coming soon. And I'm probably going to do more blogs and videos on my insights and feelings about what is going on, just generally, energetically. Yeah, there's a lot of evil in the world. There really is a lot of evil in the world, and I'm just realising more and more. So last week has just been a complete eye-opener for me. And I've had to make some quite drastic decisions, but I feel that I need to protect myself from whatever, and I just need to feel safe. And if I haven't made the right decision, then that's so be it. But I think I have to be a sovereign person, and I have to be authentic, and I have to be true to myself. That's what I'm going to be telling other people to do. So I need to do that myself. I need to walk my talk. I'm also going to be creating, or I am in the process of creating, an online course that is called Stepping into Your Authentic Self. I'll talk about that again another time do a video about that, but that's going to be about helping people to shed the layers of the programs again, because it's all about, we're constantly being programmed in different ways, and it's only by deprogramming, dissolving those programs, that we can actually be authentic, fully authentic. So yeah, so I think I better go now because I've been talking for a long time. But thank you for listening, and I hope that we can speak soon, and I hope to see you at one of my workshops. Okay, bye for now.